Here we go. So yes, so every time we finish a chunk of topic, and we hopefully we'll get finished through everything um, before Easter. And the reason for that is so that you guys understand how to revise. You get really familiar with exam questions and the themes, command words, and what we are asking you guys. And I think that's really important because there are a lot of students who go, right, I know my stuff, but when I come to my exam, I always underscore. I can't understand why I've got a 4 or 5 or whatever. Nearly all of that is exam technique. So I've created a document. I'm actually just going to change it so it flows this way. And and I'm not sure if you know, as much as I teach, I'm also an examiner. I write exam questions and all that kind of thing. And the word advice I'd give you is don't do past papers yet. All right. Some of you hopefully are thinking, right, I won't do really well in my GCSEs. If you start doing past papers now, it actually becomes difficult. So I'm going to be very clear about this. Right. Do past exam questions by, all right. Don't just go do a past paper. Do a past exam questions by topic. And I've put them here. So we've just finished atmosphere, human impact on atmosphere. And what we're going to do is have a look at, and I say this a lot, underline your keywords and what that actually means. Okay. So we start off with a method called the bug method. All right. And as trivial as it sounds, you lose about, the average student loses about 20% of their marks because they haven't read their questions properly. So box the command word. This is really important. And I'm going to show you what the command words mean. Underline your keywords. Focus on scientific units. And the thing that I'm really going to talk to you about is, and I'm going to add to this, what I mean by keywords is words that we have taught you. So words we have, and that's why at the start of every session where I'm teaching you something, I say, right, here are the keywords, here are the key ideas, words we have taught you, or words in a revision guide. And if you look at CGP or any revision guide, you'll see the keywords in bold. All right? Okay. Have a look at the marks. All right? That really helps. Okay. So, command words, their meanings. So one of the easiest, or what we divide them into three different sections. AO1. All right? And it is literally, tell me what has happened. Tell me what you know. What's the name of this artery? How much oxygen was in the atmosphere when the world was born? You know, things like that. It is tell me what I've taught you. Literally, that's it. Tell me what I've taught you. Describe is very similar. It tends to be, now I'm going to hit both maths, chemistry, biology, and physics. Describe tends to be for tables and graphs. Okay? Tell me what the tables show you. Tell me the trends in the graph. Worst way to do it is, oh, the graph goes upwards. I don't like it. I'm going to give you 0. And my advice to a describe question is always use numbers. Always use numbers. And what I mean by that is if you turned around and the graph looked something like this, and this was 0, and this was 5, and it said, oh, something like 10 on the y-axis. And what I would expect a good answer to say when it comes to describe question is the graph goes upwards or positive gradient, whatever. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible from 0 to 5, from 0 to 5, until it reaches 10. Then it levels out. You don't have to use the word level out, flattens out, or stays the same. But I want to see numbers, right? So if someone wrote, it goes upwards, we're not happy. Okay. Now, explain. And the way that I'll explain questions, all right, you must have the word because in there. You're telling me why it happens. All right. Calculate. Use calculator. Show me you're working out. The reason I say show me you're working out, or always show you working out, isn't because, if you get the right answer, it doesn't matter. The problem is students make a ton of tiny mistakes. And when you show every step, it reduces how many tiny mistakes you make. All right, evaluate. Give me the pros and cons of a conclusion. Right? What are the good points and bad points? One example would be giving someone an artificial heart. What are the good points? Well, you're not on a waiting list. You don't have to get a tissue match. There's less chance your body's going to reject it. What are the bad things? Well, it might break down. The pump or the motor that's running it might, stop working. All these things are issues. Okay, so pros and cons of something. There is a word up here that I haven't put down that I like to talk about, which is suggest. The suggest command word, right, is horrible for students, and it's one of the favorite questions that I like to create. Right? Now, suggest is the reason it is oh, I can't even time. Right. The reason why suggest is one of my favorite words, right, is we'll get right. One of my favorite command words is we can't teach you this. All right. We cannot teach you the content. What that means is it will be something unknown to you and me. All right. But the answer has to be based on what you know. Something like, if we're doing ecology, suggest why the population of rabbits has gone up. I didn't know they were going to ask you about rabbits. How can I know that? I'm just a teacher. How do I know what the exam question was? So suggest why the population of rabbits have gone up. The answer has to be about things we've taught you and really logical. For example, you would get a mark for all the foxes, or predators, you could say fox, doesn't matter, predators, have died. All right, what else? Oh, yeah, there's more food. Anything that is logical will do. All right, so suggest means, and give me an answer that's logical on the things we've taught you. That's it. There is no, oh, well, it's got to be about there's more food. Oh, it's got to be that all the predators died. It depends on the question and the information we've given you. Okie dokie. So, the other thing, I've talked about handling data and graphs. The 6 markers. Students hate 6 markers. But I'm going to be honest with you. Do it in bullet points. Right? It kind of gives you an idea. Right? 1 mark equals 1 rule. It gives you a kind of idea of how you should structure it. However, the least you should have is 6. You should really, if it's a 6 marker, aim for 8. The reason being, you're going to know what we've given you marks for. All right? You can't. So sometimes you might think, oh, if I write this down, I'll get a mark, and you won't. So write down 8 things. All right. Right? There is really important is terminology. I don't care how you spell. I don't even care your sentence structure, as long as it's phonetic. But I want you, if you're talking about proteins, to use the word denature. And I see a lot of students who know what they're talking about and say, kill the protein. Proteins are molecules, they were never alive. Yeah? Okay. Rate limiting factors. Has to be a rate limiting factor. Okay. All right. Once you've done, now here's the big one. Make sure, right, you don't miss the last question. All right. There are questions at the bottom or right at the top that students miss. Okay. So that's my information on how to handle it. Underline your keywords, underline your command words. writing bullet points. Really pay attention to what we've given you. All right, so here are your questions. Some of you may have already started them last session. I don't think so. I didn't see that many. I don't think so. Anyone complete these at all? So let's stop recording.